Okie dokie boys and girls, it is day 325 of bulking to 75 kilos with calisthenics only, and today we have another squatting day. I'm doing pistol squats, and compared to last time, I'm actually going down in weight, but I'm using 38 kilos, which is the weight I've used 2 trainings before. Now, I'm not just gonna do the same as 2 trainings before, I'm just gonna add 1 rep to each sit. So last time I did 3 sets of 4, or actually I did 4 reps on the last sit as well, but anyway, today I'm aiming for 3 sets of 4, which is just a little bit more than exactly 8 days ago now. You might hear this and think like, isn't that very slow progress? And it's not fast progress, it's not insane progress, it's nothing special, it's nothing to write home about. But I've been mentioning this a lot lately. It's still progress, it's a small step, and you need all of these small steps to, well, reach your big goals in the end, to go a long distance. A long distance still consists of many small parts, a lot of steps, right? So, in my opinion, when it comes to making progress, the shortest way, the quickest way to do it is to take no shortcuts at all. And that's something that I've proven on this channel before already with the Nordic curls. For example, with the Nordic curls, right? I injured myself twice by trying to progress too fast. But then on the comeback, I managed to be patient, and basically I kept training, very controlled within my limits during my injury, and I was still able to get stronger. So at the point that my injury was healed, I was just able to come back better than before. That's all because I was very patient. If I try to rush the healing process, somewhere along I'm gonna miss some steps, and then they're gonna come back to bite me when I actually get back to serious training. And it's the same for these pistol squats. I'm trying to build them up again from an injury, and basically I think doing it the slow and controlled way, especially the controlled way, because I used to use a lot of momentum on these pistol squats, like doing these controlled negatives. I think, being patient in them and, mentioning to myself that it's okay to be weak, right? I think I'm making more progress in the long run. Now, it's okay to be weak today, but of course, it's not okay to stay weak, so we're gonna get training. Today, I have, like I mentioned, 38 kilos. I'm gonna go for 3 sets of 4 reps. And don't get me wrong, by saying that you shouldn't take shortcuts and you shouldn't rush your progress, I don't mean go out there and aim for the bare minimum, right? What I mean to say is that you should be satisfied with even small progress, but if your main sets are done, right, and you have some energy left, by all means go for more, right? So for me, today, if the main sets don't get me maxed out, or I don't have to max out on my main sets, I'm still gonna do sets afterwards, finisher sets, that basically allow me to push myself in a safe manner. So that's gonna be with lighter weight, but on the main sets, heavyweight, 38, well, heavyweight, kinda heavyweight, we still have a long way to go, but 38 kilos, let's give them a spin. Fuck. All right. That did not feel as easy as I was hoping it would. I was hoping, it's 4 kilos less than last time. This is gonna feel like a feather, but that was not the case. 3 sets of 4 reps, but I kinda broke my rules here. Yes, it was controlled on the way down, but I was kind of starting to bend at my hip, bending forward instead of keeping myself upright, so I'm not too happy with these sets, So I think I'm in for a bit lighter squats next time, perhaps 24 kilos like I'm about to do right now, but for more reps so that I can, do some volume, but also let my body recover from the heavy weight. It's like doing one step back to go 2 forward, but nonetheless, 3 sets of 4. I'm quite happy with that, it's still progress. So now what I'm gonna do is some more pistol squats actually. Today, my hip is feeling good, so I'm gonna lower the weight to 24 kilos. I think it will be about 50 pounds. I'll do the calculations, but anyway, 24 kilos. And I feel like it might be a bit ambitious with these controlled reps, but I wanna see if I can do 8 reps and basically go for 3 sets of those. So no matter what happens, whether I get to 8 reps or not, I'm gonna do 3 sets. That's my bare minimum today. That's the standard for me to mark this training as successful. But how many reps I'm gonna get, I don't know. What I do know is it's gonna be fucking hard, and it's gonna be really putting some emphasis on my quadriceps, which is exactly what you need to get stronger quadriceps, to get a better squat. So yeah, without further ado, let's get going. Fuck no! What the hell? Okay, that's 5 reps. Failure on number 6. I'm doing these sets separately, left and right, with some rest in between, because otherwise you get tired from just holding the dumbbell on your shoulders before you even get started on your second leg. But that's a disappointing amount of reps right here. Let's repeat it for 2 more times. Alright, I have a feeling this is a good place to end the pistol squat sets and move on to something else, but holy fuck, lately there have been a couple of sessions where I surprised myself with how strong I felt. Today I surprised myself with how weak I felt, and to be honest, I shouldn't be surprised. Like last training when I was doing the squats, the 2-legged squats, heels elevated, like I was not able to push myself as hard as I usually do at all. So I knew that I was kind of getting tired and that I needed a lighter session, but for some reason my legs didn't feel that sore today. So I was just like, well, fuck it, let's try a normal session anyway. And well, it backfired, kinda. Did it backfire? It was still not like a completely bad session, right? There are no completely bad sessions where just everything's bad, nothing's good. That doesn't happen unless you fucking ego lift yourself into the hospital, right? If you don't do that, then there's something good in your session. For example, today, yes, I was feeling weak as shit, but I was still able to feel a good burn in my quadriceps. I still got a stimulus and I felt less pain in my hip than last time. So all in all, I would say this is a win. And, no matter what happens in your training, you're always in control, It's like the way that you view your training and how it's going is completely in your mind. And if you're not happy with how it's going in your mind, you have the power to change it. So for me today, I'm not happy with how many reps I was able to do or the way I was able to do them. The first 3 sets, the heavy ones, were in very good form. The ones after that, I expected to do way more reps, like at least get 1 set of 8, No, I got fucking 5, right? So I'm not happy with what I was able to execute today, but if that's how I'm feeling, I can change it, I can still do something in my power to make today's workout better, and I'm gonna do that in the form of the finisher set I've been doing lately, which is CC squats followed by CC squat negatives, so I'll be helping myself up, and then I like to call them bunny squats. Basically, it's like the same as a CC squat where your heels are elevated, but you're doing like a normal squat, but because your knees are going far out in front of your toes, you're basically putting all of the pressure of that squat onto your quadriceps. So that's like a dual drop set, I guess, like drop, drop, or normal set, drop, drop, so dual drop set, I guess, which is all focused on quadriceps. It's gonna burn like hell. I'm only gonna do one set of this today because I do want to recover for next time, but finisher sets are a good way to always end your workout in, well, a positive fashion, because there's only one objective: just let your muscles burn as much as possible. And guess what? The more you're tired, the less you're feeling up to your training, the less stamina or energy you have, the quicker those muscles are gonna burn. So in a way, when you're feeling tired, it's an advantage. Of course, you have to rest as well. So keep it, tone it down maybe a little bit when it comes to the amount of sets. Don't go for 2 to 3 sets. Just keep it at one set, but make that one set worth it, Go and give it your all. And then you can worry about recovery afterwards, So I'm just gonna not think about recovery during this set. And then next time when I'm back at my pistol squat workout, I'll figure out what to do, I'll figure out how I'm feeling and we can move forward again. But let's do the super set or the drop set. Okie dokie, boys and girls. I guess you could call that a hard day at the office, because things did not go as planned, The form or the first squats weren't as light as I was expecting. The later squats, I didn't get as many reps as I was expecting. But guess what? I still did it, I'm happy with today's workout in the sense that I fucking did it, It's another day in the office. It's another day added to my consistency PR, I have this PR in my notebook called consistency PR. How many days did I train in a row? For me, my standard is to train daily. If for you, your standard is to train twice a week, that's okay. But you have this consistency PR where you're able to uphold yourself to that standard. So how many weeks in a row were you able to train 2 times a week? For me, I just count the days that I trained in a row. And every time it goes up, And it's the same for running. No matter how bad it feels, no matter how tired I am, no matter how much it sucked, the fucking counter goes up because I'm gonna do that training. And sometimes that's the only thing that matters. And in fact, it's kind of the same with weight training, you know? With weight training or with calisthenics as well. If you do a planche, right? And you move on from a tuck planche to an advanced tuck planche, right? It's harder. It's gonna feel difficult. But at some day, like on some day, perhaps you feel tired and you try your tuck planche again and you're like, holy fucking shit, this is light, you know? If you do hard things, the normal things become easy, right? And it's the same for everything, you know? It's the same for your training days as well. If you do the hard days, then the normal days will feel easier. If you always, you know, give yourself excuses on the hard days not to train, you know, I could have, you know, stopped this workout at the first set. Oh, I'm not recovered. I'm gonna train again tomorrow. I could have done that, you know? And perhaps it might have been a wise choice, but at the same time, by not doing so, by not giving yourself a way around, by forcing yourself to go through with it, you kind of force yourself to adapt as well to hard situations. And you have this standard of, you know, always training. And basically, because you're doing that, it's easy to stay consistent, right? Because you're able to get yourself to do things on difficult days. Of course, you're going to be able to get yourself to do things on normal days, let alone easy days, right? Like sometimes I feel like people will have like this kind of, or they will be training consistently for a while, right? And then just one day slips in, oh, I'm feeling sick, you know, I'm not going to do anything. But then the standard for not doing anything, it just is, it's this slippery slope going down where, you know, next time it's not like you're feeling sick, but you just have a little cough, or, oh, the next time you only slept 6 hours instead of 8, you know, I shouldn't train. And the standard becomes lower and lower. But if you can uphold yourself to your standard, even on the difficult days, well, it's going to be so much easier to continue, basically. It's the hard days that matters. It sounds cliche, but it's true. So yeah, I'm very happy with today's training, not because of insane PRs or insane weight, but just because of one PR, and that's the consistency PR, you know? That's the PR that I can improve on every day, no matter what happens. So yeah, that's it for today's training. Tomorrow will be hamstrings. I'll see you then. Now I'm gonna head downstairs and have some dinner, so we can recover for next time and get some revenge.